Today I'm going to be reading the book, A Sick Day for Amos McGee, written by Philip C. Stead, illustrated by Aaron E. Stead. Before we begin, I have some questions. What does it look like Amos is doing in this photo? And do you think these are his friends? As we read, we will find out. A sick day for Amos McGee. Amos McGee was an early riser. Every morning when the alarm clock clanged, he swung his legs out of bed and swapped his pajamas for a fresh pressed uniform. Where do we think he's going? He would wind his watch and set a pot of water to boil, saying to the sugar bowl, "A spoonful for my oatmeal, please, and 2 for my teacup." Belly full and ready for the workday, he'd amble out the door. Every day, Amos waited for the number 5 bus. "Next stop, City Zoo," the bus driver would call. 6 a.m., right on time, he'd reply. Amos had a lot to do at the zoo, but he always made time to visit his good friends. He would play chess with the elephant who thought and thought before making a move. He would run races with the tortoise who never, ever lost. He would sit quietly with the penguin who was very shy. Have you ever been shy before? Lend a handkerchief to the rhinoceros who always had a runny nose. That's very kind of him. What other kind things do you think Amos McGee could do? And at sunset, he would read stories to the owl who was afraid of the dark. One day, Amos woke with the sniffles and the sneezes and the chills. He swung his achy legs out of bed, curled them back again, and said, "Ugh, I don't think I'll be going to work today." Meanwhile, at the zoo, the animals waited for their friend. The elephant arranged his pawns and polished his castles. The tortoise stretched his legs and limbered out. The penguin sat patiently all by himself. The rhinoceros worried that his allergies were worsening. The owl perched on top of a tall stack of storybooks, scratching his head with concern. "Where is Amos?" the animals wondered. "Looks like they're missing their friend." Later that day, where are they going? Have you ever seen animals on a bus before? Hooray! My good friends are here. The elephant prepared a game of chess. Amos thought and thought before making a move. "I'm too tired to run races today," said Amos to the tortoise. "Let's play hide and seek instead." The tortoise hid inside his shell Amos hid underneath the covers. Amos yawned. I could use a nap. The penguin sat quietly, keeping Amos's feet warm. Achoo! Amos woke with a sneeze. The rhinoceros was ready with a handkerchief. I'm beginning to feel much better, thank you, said Amos to his friends. He swung his legs out of bed. Perhaps we'll share a pot of tea. Amos wound his alarm clock. It's getting late, he said. After all, we have a morning bus to catch. So Amos said good night to the elephant, and good night to the tortoise, and good night to the penguin, and good night to the rhinoceros, and good night to the owl, who, knowing that Amos was afraid of the dark, read a story aloud before turning out the light. The end. I would talk with my students in the class about what they do to help the other people or other family members or friends when they are sick. It helps with their literacy skills to see what you can do at the zoo. You can see the environmental print as the bus sign or the zoo, and as well as seeing the word or hearing the words to the pieces at the chessboard, or even having the sniffles. Those are different descriptive words. And I think that this book would be used to help kind of regulate some emotions as well. And it is a sick day for Amos McGee.